Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to teach you how to make some super easy cinnamon swirl French toast. And first thing we're going to use is eggs. Now, depending on how much French toast you're making, depends on how many eggs. We're going to use 6 for a loaf of bread. And then we're going to use 2 tablespoons to 4 tablespoons of half and half. And again, I'll tell you that in a minute. Then we're going to use this Pepperidge Farm 100% whole wheat cinnamon swirl bread with raisins. And we're going to use some ground cinnamon. That is also to taste, but I'll show you about that in a second. Then we're going to add 2 teaspoons to a tablespoon of vanilla. Again, that's to taste. I want you to try it. And then you're going to need some cooking spray. I'm also making this after I make bacon, so I'm not really going to use cooking spray too much, but if your griddle calls for cooking spray. And you're going to need a flat bowl. I usually don't show the utensils to cook with, but this flat bowl is absolutely necessary because you need something flat and low to dunk your French toast in. So I feel like this should be in my Cooking with Limitations series because this is a meal that I can make entirely at the kitchen table. Jim will help me put stuff away when I'm done using it, but in all fairness, I could have brought, a small cup full of the liquid stuff and the 6 eggs and just crack them there at the table into the little garbage can. So what we'll do is we're going to crack 6 eggs into the bowl with the half and half. And again, I eyeball it. I know that when I make it, it's about 2 tablespoons to 4 tablespoons. But here's the thing. Depending on what size eggs you have, depending on how dense your bread is, this Pepperidge Farm bread is actually kind of dense, which I like. That's what makes it a really good, tasty French toast, is that you can actually get it to soak a little bit like the custard will. And then I sprinkle on the cinnamon. The cinnamon isn't a measurement. The thing is that the cinnamon doesn't dissolve in the egg mixture. It kind of like pools on top. So what I do is I add some halfway. You'll see as I start to make French toast, the cinnamon's going to go with like the first 5 or 6 pieces, or 8 pieces actually. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add some more after we make that. So like I said, I made bacon first, and this is one of these tips when I am on limited energy or my mobility is shot, like if my arthritis is kicking my butt, then I cook at the kitchen table. I cook at the kitchen table, I'm sorry. And though like I said, I do have help putting stuff away. If you're cooking for your whole family, this entire meal like this, then you will have help putting it away. If you're not cooking for your entire family, you're just cooking for yourself, everything can just go away when you're done. Like that's basically how I put it. Like when Jim's asleep and I do this, then I go ahead and I put everything away when I'm done cooking. So I like to cook the bacon on here because Mom likes it crispy, and when this griddle cooks, the middle piece is crispy and the other piece is a little rarer, and Jim and I like rarer pieces, so it kind of works out perfectly for my family. And then it does have a like a grease catcher, but I usually like to reserve my bacon grease so I don't leave the okay, hi, I can talk, right? Yeah, you see how I just got eggs in there? Aw. See, that's why I'm distracted. So I'm going to make Mom some egg whites. She didn't want French toast. But how I make egg whites on this, now if you wanted like a fluffy eggs, like I make Jim fluffy eggs, I throw them on there and I start to move them around right away. Mom likes her egg whites crispy, almost like a fried egg without the egg yolk in it. So what I do is I like to leave them flat and let them crisp up. And then I roll them and turn them over. Anyway, I was saying, I put my placemat under the front 2 legs of this griddle so that it doesn't have the pitch, so that the eggs don't go into the bacon grease, which of course they did this time because I wasn't paying attention. So that's why when it comes to putting the bacon grease in the well, I have to use the rubber spatula. That's what I wanted to tell you. All right. So I also wanted to share with you like this Cooking with Limitations tip about bringing cooking the eggs on the griddle. We do eggs. When I cook for the 3 of us, we like 3 different kinds of eggs. So I always make Mom's first because she's the slowest eater. I make Jim's second because usually he has to go to work. And then I make mine last, and then I clean up when I'm done. But today we're just going to make French toast. All right. So I have a spatula. I like this wide one I got at the Dollar Tree. And like I said, I have cinnamon swirl bread. Now you can do this with white bread or whole wheat bread. But if you have regular white bread or regular whole wheat bread, it is best to leave it out to get stale the night before. But even if you want to skip that step, just don't soak it as long. Okay? It just won't be, why is my French toast not like the French toast at Denny's or whatever? It's because of the bread. It really is. So with this whole wheat bread, this is twice speed. Okay, so that's how long I'm letting it actually soak. And then you want to let the egg drip off. So like I said, this is 16 slices of bread. This is an entire loaf. Took 6 eggs. And like I said, Mom's not having French toast. And it's hard to see on the camera because for you to see inside the egg mixture made everything else look way dark. But like I told you, the cinnamon will need to be replenished throughout the recipe. But I will also show you that we have a cinnamon sugar shaker. It's actually a mason jar from the Dollar Tree. And you know those little mason jar salt and pepper shaker things that they had at the Dollar Tree? Yeah. So we put cinnamon sugar in that, which is a 50-50 ratio of cinnamon to sugar. And then I have one that is a 50-50 ratio of cinnamon to Splenda. And then instead of replenishing cinnamon in the bowl, you can sprinkle that onto the French toast while you're cooking it as well. And that does add a little bit of crispness. So if you're using regular white bread or regular whole wheat bread, that's what I would do to add cinnamon to the French toast, because it actually makes it have like a little bit of a crispier surface, if that makes sense. Plus a little sweeter. It also adds a little sweetness. What I did was I just brought out a cooling rack because I'm making the whole loaf of bread. As I've mentioned before, cooking with limitations, what I do is I make a whole batch of French toast and I put it in my freezer. So this bread cost me $2.37, I think, $2.97, and the eggs were $1.28. So now we're up to $3.50. If you put in how much half and a half, it's probably less than $4 with the vanilla, the cinnamon, and the half and half to make 16 pieces of French toast. And if you buy them in the grocery store, first of all, they're not whole wheat, they're not handmade, and you can't buy that for that amount of money anyway. Usually get an 8-pack for like $3 or something, right? So, but this is definitely worth it. The cinnamon swirl bread from Pepperidge Farm just really adds something special to it. It doesn't make it too cinnamony. Mom asked me, she said, it's probably real cinnamony, right? And I'm like, actually, no. It just adds a little bit of something that makes it a little bit special. So now I've gotten smart. I got up and washed my hands because I was not supposed to touch the French toast with my fingers. Yeah. When it was in the egg mixture, don't do that. Use a fork. Now, if you are, I'll be honest with you, if you're doing white bread, not only are you going to dunk it super fast, like just in and out and in and out, but you're going to have to do it really quick. And you may have to use your fingers because if you use the fork sometimes, if you soak it a little too long, the bread will fall apart. The white bread will fall apart. But not usually. Usually just go quickly with it. So it doesn't, because it's not a dense bread, it soaks the egg in quickly. It doesn't just coat the egg on the outside. It's just that it soaks in so much faster, so you have to go quickly. Funny story, when we were learning how to make French toast in home ec, we were broken up into groups of 4. We were given 1 egg by our teacher with the vanilla and the milk, and 4 slices of bread. And Stephen Goldman, if you're watching, Stephen, you know who you are. He was in our group, and he was the first person to go, and he let his bread soak too long, and none of us got any egg. So don't do that. Don't be Stephen Goldman. I'm sure he's learned in his older age to make French toast better than that. So I'm just trying to leave the cooking time in real time for you guys. I know that I probably shouldn't. Make yourself a cup of coffee. Yeah, this was definitely a good day. I had a little bit more energy. I was just in pain. So that's part of what I talk about cooking with limitations. Some of my limitations are sometimes I have lack of energy, like this morning after my nap or this afternoon after my nap. I have lack of energy and extreme pain. But this morning when I woke up, it was great. I had energy, but pain. So sometimes it's that I have no energy, and sometimes I have a lot of pain. This is what causes me to adapt to how I would function when I was younger and pain free. All right. And then we're just going to repeat with the rest of the loaf. Um, about how cooking them, like how long are we cooking them on both sides, does depend on a few things. It depends on your bread. It depends on how many you cook at a time. If you're using the electric griddle, how your electric griddle works. Basically, you want to cook them so that the egg is cooked, but you want them to cook them so that they're brown on both sides. We have this griddle set to 400 degrees. Usually when you're making pancakes, it's about 375. And my old griddle that broke was pretty dead on with 375. It used to do great for pancakes and French toast. This one is just a little higher. So I would test yours. Try it at 375 because that's what you're supposed to do. And then if you need to adjust it, go ahead and adjust it. But I just know this griddle now. So this is me making sure I get all of the egg. Oh, I think can I get the last piece of bread? Might be able to. Yeah, I get it all. So I was kind of like, thought I was going to run out of egg. And that happens sometimes. When Eden was young, when she was a single woman, and I taught her to make French toast, because French toast is also a poor girl's meal, fancy poor girl's meal, because you don't have to have syrup, but it's a nice thing to have. But you could take one egg and two slices of bread and make French toast. I mean, you actually can take one egg and four slices of bread and make French toast. So if you had company and only one egg, what can you do? Well, you can make French toast. Which is just something to keep in mind. So if you are making this for yourself or you're making a small batch, one egg with to four pieces of bread, you can get away with 4 pieces of white bread. Okay? And now we're just going to cook the rest, and then we're going to serve. Now I'm going to serve mine with the macerated strawberries. I'll link that video in the description box down below. That's from the Food Hacks. Somebody asked me, how do you macerate strawberries? If you're new to my channel and you just joined us, hi. But I macerate my strawberries in Splenda because I'm a type 2 diabetic, and that's why I use whole wheat bread, whole wheat raisin bread that I found Pepperidge Farm at Walmart for my French toast as well. Because the whole wheat bread added with the protein from the egg and the bacon that I'm going to have ends up being a very nice meal for me. Very low on my glycemic index. Everybody's body handles food, different carbs differently. So I was going to say, you do you, but so that's it. 3 slices of bacon, 2 slices of French toast, and then strawberries galore. Again, if your type 2 diabetic or your diabetic body doesn't do strawberries very well, definitely keep that in mind. Maybe pick a fruit of your choice, maybe something fresh, or even skip the fruit altogether and just go for some sugar-free syrup. And that's it. I hope you really enjoyed this. I really enjoyed making it for you. I know it's just nice to have you guys join us for breakfast. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments down below. Give this video a thumbs up if you like it. And if you haven't yet, click subscribe, and when you do, a little bell will pop up. When you ring that bell, YouTube will let you know whenever I upload a new video. And now, really quick, I'm going to show you the cleanup, because I thought that would be nice. I always say, like I do my hot surface stove, I do it like Benihana style. Same thing with my grill. I take a wet rag, and I use these rags exclusively for cleaning. And first I clean off the least dirty part. So you clean off the outside, the handles and stuff. You can add a tiny bit of soap to this as long as you have 2 rags, one to rinse with. But what I'm going to do first is I'm going to take it while it's hot, and I have asbestos fingers, but it doesn't really get very hot if you just keep mindful of it. And then I wipe down the entire hot griddle with the dish rag while it's hot. Okay, and then I'm going to use that. I turned it over, got a clean side. I'm going to wipe the table off because it sometimes can, when you make the bacon, it could splash the grease everywhere. But I like to do that before I eat. And now I'm showing you, once it's cooled, I pack away in the freezer. I take quart-sized Ziploc bags, they're freezer type, and you can do 4 to 6 slices of this bread into each bag. So Jim and I each had 3 because I usually just only have 2, but I eat the heels, and the heel today was like kind of really thin. And that's it. So I want you to share this with friends and family. Anybody know who's interested in learning how to make this with disabilities. And as always, you take care. God bless you next time. Bye.